Do you ever think there's more to life than just working in a job to pay the bills? Do you want to live a fulfilled life and utilize your full potential, and to work in a job that you love, and to start a business that you love, and even be in a loving relationship? Well, stay tuned. In high school, my goal was to get good grades so that I could get into a good university and do a good degree. And then when I got into medical engineering and eventually graduated, all my peers around me were excited, but I wasn't as excited. The reason being is because in the last couple of years of my degree, I started to lose my passion for my field, especially after working my internship. It just wasn't what I thought it would be. And also, I started to become passionate about business and entrepreneurship. And yes, in the beginning, it was about making money, but then it became about doing what I wanted to do, to make a positive impact on the world, and to not work for a boss, and to instead think for myself and do what I think is right. I also noticed that people were just following the system because it was the norm. Everyone else went to school, most people went to university, and then you got a job, and then you progressed in that job. And as I spoke to a lot of my friends and just observed things in general, I noticed that a lot of people didn't really love their jobs that much. It was just something to pay the bills, and it actually sucked up a lot of their time and energy, and it meant that they couldn't do the things that they really love. And I know you probably relate to this in some way. So in my journey of entrepreneurship and personal development, I noticed that both school and my parents didn't teach me a lot of life skills. No one taught me how to have a good mindset. No one taught me financial literacy. No one taught me how to start a business. No one taught me how to do relationships the right way. No one taught me health and fitness. I had to learn all these things on my own through research and trial and error. And after talking to several people, I realized I wasn't the only one. We are all lacking in some area in terms of life skill. I began doing research into the school system, and I realized that school isn't just about reading, writing, and arithmetic. A couple hundred years ago, education was only reserved for the elite. If you were poor, you didn't go to school, and you were illiterate. And then during the Industrial Revolution, factory owners needed agreeable workers who would show up on time and do what their managers told them to do. So this is when education became universal. And education wasn't only about reading or writing, it was about social conditioning, teaching people to follow rules, be agreeable, instilling middle-class values and attitudes, creating just the type of worker factory owners needed. During the Industrial Revolution, people went from being craftsmen and farmers who mostly worked from their own homes and set their own hours, to now taking orders from someone else, and their time was no longer their own. They had to be at work at a specific time and leave work at a specific time. And the funny but unfortunate thing is that not much has changed. School basically teaches the same sort of stuff, but instead of working in a factory, we now work in nice offices. But we are still incentivized based on middle class values. Like if you work more hours, or if you make the company more money, you'll get a bonus, or you'll get your own office. And it's all about climbing the corporate ladder. Meanwhile, business owners work as much or as little as they want to. Now let me pause here and say that there is nothing wrong with having a job. And I'm not saying that everyone should be a business owner instead. I'm just saying that school isn't teaching us the right things. And a lot of jobs incentivize following the rules and working your butt off for the benefit of the company. So essentially, school isn't teaching us basic life skills, and instead is teaching us how to be good employees and to conform. It's definitely fine to work in a good job or to even climb the corporate ladder, but I'm just trying to make you aware of it. Because a lot of people aren't even aware that they're part of a rat race. They're just in it because everyone else is around them. And not many people take the time to consider whether they are truly happy with their current lifestyle and whether some things need changing. And now on to parents. On a general basis, they want the best for us. But unfortunately, they've also gone through the school system and they've adopted the same middle-class values and attitudes that school teaches. And hence, they believe the right thing to do is to work hard in school and get good grades so you can get into a good university. And then once you're in university, work hard again to get good grades so you can get into a good job. And then once you're in your job, you work hard so that you can progress in your job. It's all about being in the rat race. And now obviously this isn't all parents, but it's most. Unfortunately, our parents don't teach us basic life skills because they're either too busy with their own lives, or they're too busy teaching us middle class values and to be part of the rat race, or they simply don't know a lot of basic life skills themselves because nobody taught them. How can your parents teach you how to have a good mindset when no one taught them? How can they teach you how to start a business when no one ever taught them, or they never tried it themselves? So what's my point in all this? Am I here to just blame school and parents for our problems? No, not at all. Because if you blame others and don't take responsibility for your problems, you give your power to others. And over time, you become negative and bitter. So the reason I'm telling you all of this is so you understand that school and our parents didn't teach us a lot of basic life skills that could help us live our best lives. As I mentioned before, some of these things include having the right mindset, financial literacy, how to have a good relationship, health and fitness, and so on. But the most important is mindset. And no, I'm not talking about a mindset in the sense you hear most mindset coaches talking about, which, to be honest, is pseudoscience. Just Google NLP, which is the main thing they teach, and you'll see for yourself. You may be thinking, hang on a minute, you're telling me that mindset is more important than financial literacy and how to start a business? Yes, let me explain. You may have the potential to make a lot of money, to make the next billion-dollar business, or you may be on track to do that. But without a good mindset, you either won't get there because you have so many subconscious blockages and bad habits holding you back, or if you do achieve success in these areas, you won't be happy. And I mean deep down. Yes, you will have a lot of money and you might not even have to work that much anymore, and you can buy a lot of amazing things and have a lot of amazing experiences. But without the right mindset, you won't be fulfilled. There are plenty of millionaires out there who are both miserable and depressed. Why? Because they've spent their whole life chasing money. And then once they've gotten it, they've realized that it's not as great as they thought it would be. And if they do some deep digging, they might even find that they were just doing it to please others. Or they were just doing it because that's what everyone else was doing. It's all about who can be the most successful, who can make the most money. And that's another thing with mindset. If you don't have the right mindset, you can fall into the trap of pursuing things that don't actually matter to you deep down. Now let's get real for a minute. Have you ever had a goal or a New Year's resolution and tried to change a bad habit or adopt a new one, but then after a few days or weeks, you find yourself back in your old habits and nowhere near your goal? How many times have you gone to do something and then be confronted with the thoughts of, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, I'm not worthy of success, it's just not possible for me, I'm just too shy? That is mindset. Your mindset will either push you to achieve great things, or it'll keep you in your current position. I'm not telling you all of this to make you feel bad, but I'm saying it for you to realize the power of your mindset and the importance of it. And that is why I started this YouTube channel, to educate people on mindset and teach them how to develop a bulletproof mindset that pushes them towards their dream life. And as I mentioned before, this won't be one of those pseudoscience mindset channels, but everything I say will be scientifically backed. So if you're interested in this sort of content, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And turn on the notification bell, as I'll be releasing more detailed content on some of the things I mentioned in this video. My upcoming videos are going to be a lot more practical and detailed, so stay tuned. And also, if you like this video, I'm sure you'll love the free worksheet I have linked in the description below. It will help you discover some of your harmful beliefs and bad habits, and it will show you how to overcome them and build good ones. I'll see you on the next one.